coworker, and does a bully text you? I mean, that's evidence, but you're not going to get your bully to text you, hey, I want to get you, I'm going to, hey, loser, your breath smells, okay? You're not going to get them to do that by text. You could see some evidence of bullying in an email, and in fact, I recommended that to my wife when she was getting bullied. I says, you need to describe the situation in an email to your boss. So that way later, if this thing gets bigger, you have proof that you brought the matter to your boss's attention and he did nothing. What can you do? Okay, we're going to talk about that in this video. Okay, what could the boss do and what the boss cannot do legally. Okay, so evidence. This is all leading to one event. We're collecting all this evidence in order to confront the bully and make an offer. Look, I have evidence of you harassing me, and I'm going to take this matter to HR and to your boss and to a civil attorney. If we cannot squash the conflict today. And so that is the goal. Okay? Now, in other videos you notice that I suggest that you get a background check on your adversary, on the bully, right? I recommend that here if you don't know already who your bully is in detail. Now, it's unlikely that your bully at work has a criminal record, because they would never have gotten hired in a corporation if they have a drug or criminal background. They wouldn't get hired. They would never have gotten the job. So that's why I'm not recommending a background check. Also, I feel like this. Within a few weeks of working with someone, you kind of know who they are. Well, you know where they work. You know their first and last name. You know where they live. I mean, they have to live local to the work, right? You know if they have kids. You know their age. You know how dangerous they are, or you know a lot about them. Okay? Did they serve in the military? What are their, I want you to know your adversary. And if you don't know your adversary, then yes, hire a private investigator and get a background check on your coworker. Why? Because then you're coming from a position of strength. You know where she lives. You know where job she worked at last. You know where she went to school. You know how many kids she has. If you don't already know this, you need to know who she is, why she, what did she do this at another job? Okay? You need to know. So most likely you'll know a lot about your coworker because you work together. But if that's not the case and the bully is kind of anonymous to you, you need a background check. Find a private investigator in your area, pay them $100, and they're going to do a background check on your bully and tell you everything that comes up in a report. Okay? Okay, so we're going to confront the bully after we've collected a lot of evidence of the workplace harassment. Okay? How do you confront the bully? Okay. It's not easy, right? Because it's at work, and so how do you pull this off, right? I would recommend using a coworker as a mediator, okay? I recommend a coworker who doesn't have beef with you or with the bully. And this is why allies are so important, because you can send an ally to go talk to the bully and say, look, Alex is considering legal action against you. Before he moves forward, I wanted to sit down with both of you and try to come to some sort of a peace treaty where you can both respect each other without this problem getting bigger. And when you say that he's considering legal action, I think the bully's going to be reasonable to sit down. If not, hey, you tried. You tried. And that's going to look good, especially because you used a coworker. So it's going to look good on your part when you do contact the attorney. Your boss is going to say, why didn't you come to me? I said, I already tried to work it out with the coworker, with the bully, and she shut me down. She rejected any peace treaty, and I have a witness, the coworker who was the mediator. She was there, and she said, no, the bully was not open to any compromise or negotiation. So that helps you. That helps you a lot. Okay? So, and then I would say this too. If the boss is aware after the fact of the bullying, okay, and so is HR, well, it doesn't matter, because they'll say, why didn't you come to us first? Yeah, so you can keep it in-house, right? And so you can do nothing and just, no. You know about the problem now, solve it now. We're not in court yet. Solve it now. Okay? So none of this works if you are desperate for this job. Oh, I need this job. I gotta have, oh no, it's a great job. I need it. And that, you know what, that neediness, that it makes you a victim, because the coworker goes, no way, this person needs this job. You have a family to support, you have a mortgage, a car payment, and it took you 6 months to find this job. So you don't want to lose this job. So then you're thinking, a lot of the stuff I say, oh, I could never do this because I need this job. Yeah, the bully's relying. The bully he's relying on that need the job. I can't leave. You know, I know this lady, right? She's had 5 kids with her abusive husband, right? He breaks her nose and he blacks her eye, and he comes at her with a knife when he's drunk, and she's totally helpless. She needs him. Without him, she has no money. She doesn't have a car. She has no job skills. She has no money saved. And there's no way she can feed 5 kids without him. She's trapped, and he knows it, and so he's not going to change his behavior at all, because the only thing a bully respects is strength. You have the strength of the court and the law, okay? Use it. If you don't use it, you're weak. There's nothing else you can use. You can't box him. That's against the rules. That's against the law. All you can do is take him to court. And if your boss wishes you would have went to them first, you know what? You probably already did. You didn't mention this to your boss, that Wendy's picking on you? What did he say? Right? You could mention it. I don't mind, go ahead and mention it to your boss. See what he says. He's going to, it's not, it's going to blow over. She's probably just having a bad day. You're blowing this out of proportion. He's going to, yeah, that's what bosses do, okay? I've never seen a boss do what should be done, which is bring you both into the room and say, I need you both to stop harassing each other. I don't want to hear what happened. I want you to shake right now and promise me that I'm not going to hear any more conflict at all between the two of you. That's how I would have done it. And I'd say, when they shake hands, I'm going to say, look, if I hear this again, I'm going to send both of you to arbitration, where you're going to both have to figure out how to get along with each other. And it's going to take time out of your schedule. It's going to be expensive because this is with a therapist, and you're going to solve it yourselves now, or I'll solve it for you in a way you won't appreciate. That's how a boss should handle it. But today's bosses, it's much easier to just say, okay, I hear what you're saying, I'll look into it. And then they don't. They don't do nothing. And the harassment continues. So that is, okay, so the goal of the confronting the bully is to stop the harassment. The goal is not to win any argument. The goal is not to punish your bully. The goal is not to get your bully fired or reprimanded or, none of that. Your goal is to squash the problem, squash the beef, okay? So, keep that goal in mind when you are, in this whole process. Keep that goal in mind. Our goal is to stop the bullying, okay? If the bully agrees, great, problem solved. If he refuses to stop harassing you, or he says he will stop and he doesn't, he continues later, okay, then the evidence you collected, all right, it goes to HR. You have to put them on notice. It goes to your boss and to the bully's boss, okay? It has to do that. And it goes to a civil attorney, okay? So the civil attorney is important because now it's telling HR and the boss, you better do something because I'm this close to filing a lawsuit, okay? Do something. And so it's putting everyone on notice. I've had it. I haven't cried in a very long time. If a coworker made me cry, I want to sue them. I'm going to sue them unless the problem's solved. Don't make me cry, because each tear is $1,000 in court damages. Okay? Yeah. Okay? So don't make me cry. Okay. So the civil attorney has a methodology to his work. Okay? The first thing we do with the civil attorney, we show him the evidence, the video evidence. See, I've been harassed for a long time at work, right? Now, the civil attorney is going to write a cease and desist letter. That letter don't cost much, okay? Because there's no court appearance. It's just something his secretary writes, and it says this. It's going to send this letter to the boss, to the HR department, and to the bully. And it's going to say, look, I've seen evidence, video evidence, that Wendy is harassing my client Alex. It needs to stop right now. If it continues, it is our intention to go forward with a civil suit. And we'll bring all three of you in, because your failure as HR and as supervisor to remedy this is it's against the law. You have to solve this problem or we're going to take it to court. That's it. That probably costs, I would guess, under $500. Why? Because it's just a letter, man. It's not, you don't have to go to court. It's not any complex legal filing. It's just a piece of paper and an envelope, okay? So, yeah, this is what you do, okay? And that letter puts everyone on notice, right? Boss, HR, and the bullies all, oh, okay. You have to solve this problem or I will go to court. And at that point, go ahead and fire me. That just adds one more name to the lawsuit. And we will go ahead and with the lawsuit, okay? So, but remember, the goal is not a lawsuit. That's expensive. It might not work. You know, lawsuits don't always work. It don't always go the way you want it to. Even with evidence, it doesn't always go the way you want it to, okay? So, our goal is to squash this problem, to stop the harassment permanently, okay? So this is the method you're doing. This is the way it works, okay? So, I want you to watch the videos that you purchased already in this video series, How to Deal with Bullies. I want you to watch the videos on confronting the bully. Because when you confront the bully, you got to be very careful what you say. You know, it took me a long time to learn emotional control when I'm angry. Because when I'm angry, I want to say, you FRBCN. I want to say it all. I want to hurt you with my words. And also physically. And so I lose that control emotionally. Terrible, terrible way to deal. The worst possible way that you could deal with this is hot-headed. Worst. So that's why you need to watch the video on confronting the bully, because there's certain things you say that are phrases that are approved by me, but these ones won't get you into trouble. Okay? So we never insult the bully. Never. Even if they deserve it. We never use sarcasm with the bully, because that escalates things. We never make the bully feel dumb or weak, or we're not trying to make the bully react again worse. We're trying to shrink this thing, okay? Not grow this thing. So we are I want you to watch the video on confronting the bully, and I also want you to watch the video in this series called Allies and Homies, because the attorney is an ally. HR is not an ally. Your boss is not an ally. But guess who is an ally? The people that you work with, your co-workers, who actually like you and wish you would stay in the job. And they actually share lunch with you, and when the bully attacks you, they come up and say, "Hey, why are you picking on Alex? Don't you have something better to do?" Okay, that's an ally. I like that. You need to cultivate allies at work, because if you're all alone, guess what? You're all alone. No, you have allies. So that when the boss thinks about firing you, or HR thinks about firing you, they go, well, Alex does his job well, and most people like him. And, he's a good guy. He does his job well. We don't have any other problems with Alex except this bully problem. So that, if you're doing your job bad, and you come in late, and you call in sick a lot, and you take hour-long restroom breaks, okay? Then when this bully thing happens, they're gonna fire you. They're gonna fire you. You need allies, okay? And so watch those two videos, Confronting the Bully and Allies and Homies, because you need both. Okay. When you send that cease and desist letter from the civil attorney to your boss and to HR and to the bully, watch how fast all the other bullies in your job, they leave you alone. Yeah, I mean, of course they will, because you're strong now. You're saying, hey, you harassing me? Oh, boss, you allowed this to happen? Oh, HR, you allowed this to happen? We're about to go to court. You need to solve this problem now, right now, because I got an attorney who's willing to take this matter to court. Wow, powerful. No other bullies are going to mess with you, I promise. And I'm pretty sure even even your existing bully is going to be thinking, you know what? I just want this to go away. I don't want to hire an attorney. I don't want to take time off of work and go to court over this. I don't want to get fired. The bully's going to say, all right, let's come to a peace agreement. And that's what the cease and desist letter's for. At the bottom of the letter, I want you to include, remember, you can't tell a lawyer how to write the letter. He's a lawyer. He don't listen to no one. He's going to write it the way he wants. But I want to suggest that he writes it like this. I'm writing today because my client has been harassed in the workplace. I've seen videos on such and such days, and I see the video of you harassing my client, and it is our intention to file civil suit and seek monetary damages, pain and suffering, and punitive damages, and also at the end, this is what I want you to tell your lawyer. At the end, I want you to say this. We recommend you contact us for mediation of this issue. We'll all sit down in a conference room and we'll talk about how we can solve this problem without a court date. Because it's still your goal, okay? If they agree to it, then they're going to call the attorney and say, yes, we are open to mediation. All three of them. And they all sit there. Imagine you sitting in your boss and saying, hey, I deserve to be treated with respect at my job. I deserve to be spoken to in a polite, non-rude way. I deserve better treatment than what this bully is giving me. And that's all, man, you know. And then they're going to say, all right, we've come to this agreement, and now that's going to cost you a little, but not as much as a court appearance. So this mediation thing, it could cost you a little, but let's put it in perspective. My wife quit a $150,000 a year job for bullying. This mediation thing is going to cost less than $1,000. I'm going to guess the whole thing could cost, if the mediation was an hour long, I mean, how long does it sit with a private consultation with the lawyer? $500. I think that's a fair price. Between $500, maximum $1,000. Okay? Not a big deal, man. You got this. Okay? And is it not worth spending $500 or even $1,000 to save a $150,000 a year job? Of course it is. So this is how you're going to handle this, okay? I promise you, your boss will treat you better after if he gets that cease and desist letter. I promise you, he will treat you better. He may, he may wish he could tell you how angry and how, but he's not going to. He's going to zip it. Yeah, because you came from a position of strength, okay? And you're making him do his job. Solve this problem. I don't care if you fire Wendy, but you can't let her keep picking on me. It's not cool. I won't stand for it. Okay, so position of strength, okay? Bullies only respect strength, okay? This is just a law of the jungle, man. I only respect things that are stronger than me. When a cop's pulling me over, why do I pull over? He's stronger than me. If I don't pull over, he's gonna bring all of his homies and they're all gonna push my car to the road. They may shoot me, they'll definitely arrest me, may beat me. So he is an overwhelming force. He's strong. He's stronger than me. And that's why I have to submit. So you are coming from a position of strength. You got the lawyer. You've got the evidence. Don't forget the evidence or you'll never even get the lawyer. You will never get any of this accomplished without strong evidence. Okay? Now, that's what it means to be, that's one method of position, from a position of strength. The other position of strength is this. I don't need this job. Not if it means sacrificing my self-respect. Not if it means daily crying after work. Not if it means, being the whipping boy of some bully. No, none of that, okay? So, I don't need this job. I can find a better one that treats me with respect, okay? Has to be. Okay, if you get fired for complaining about workplace harassment, the attorney just adds a few more names to the lawsuit. That's it, man. And you were going to quit anyway, right? You were going to quit anyway. But better to get fired. Why? Because A, you could sue for more damages. B, you collect unemployment. If you would have quit, you don't get unemployment, okay? So you get unemployment, and it looks even worse if you complained about harassment and then they fired you. Now the lawyer is like, oh, we got some money coming, okay? So this is how you handle coworkers. Don't make the mistake of my wife leaving these cushy jobs. But guess what? It's not as easy as I'm saying it. Why? You didn't go to the prison to learn how to deal with bullies effectively. So that's why I'm giving you this advice, and you have powerful allies. The coworkers who like you as an ally, your attorney is an ally. The evidence you have is making this case. Without that, there's no case, okay? Good luck, and I'll see you in the next video.